Hi friends, welcome to the channel Winners. Here we are discussing about obstetrics and gynecology, nursing questions and answers with their explanation. If you are not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and don't miss it. And one more thing, I already discussed that Unacademy provides a free CSIR UGC NET examination preparation course since this last 15 days. So examination date is just near here, and there is a last moment preparation class scheduled on 20th November 2020, 8 o'clock morning. So it is your best opportunity. During the class, the top educator from life science subject, they will explain how to attend the examination in a prepared manner, and they will give tips and tricks regarding examinations. So it will be a great opportunity for you, and don't miss it before attending CSIR UGC NET examination. So for all candidates, best wishes. So we'll go to our topic, obstetrics and gynecology nursing, questions and answers. Screen.
First question, how much weight loss occurs to the newborn in first week of life? 10% of birth weight, 5% of birth weight, 1% of birth weight, 20% of birth weight. In first week of birth. Correct answer, 10% of birth weight. During the first week of birth, baby will lose 10% of birth weight. Then second week onwards, baby will regain the weight. Babies are born with some extra fluids, so it is normal for them to drop a few grams. When they lose that fluid in the first few days of life, a healthy newborn is expected to lose 7 to 10% of birth weight during the first week, but should regain that weight within the first 2 weeks or so after the birth. So first week, baby will lose around 7 to 10% of birth weight. Then baby will start regain the weight. Second week onwards, second week, first 2 weeks they will regain the weight. Next question, the safest method of termination of pregnancy before 12 weeks is? Safest method of termination of pregnancy before 12 weeks is suction evacuation, D and C, laminate and prostaglandin. Correct answer, D and C, or dilatation and curettage. In dilatation, prostaglandin or misoprost is used to dilate the cervix. Then the products will remove with the curette. So in suction evacuation, laminate tendon, in suction evacuation there is a chance for bleeding or injuries to the birth canal. So it is not a safest method, but suction evacuation also used for termination of pregnancy in 12th early pregnancy, and laminate tend is used to dilate the cervix. Prostaglandin also is used in early weeks of pregnancy, that is 4 to 6 weeks. Dilation and curettage refers to the dilation of the cervix. The dilation of cervix is done with prostaglandin or laminate tent, and then surgical removal of part of the lining of the uterus and contents of the uterus by scraping and scooping. Next question, the concept of multi-purpose health worker was given by? The concept of multi-purpose health workers was given by Kartar Singh Committee, Srivastava Committee, Chadda Committee, Bohr Committee. Correct answer, Kartar Singh Committee. The concept of multi-purpose health workers given by Kartar Singh Committee. Kartar Singh Committee is also known as the Committee on Multi-Purpose Workers under Health and Family Planning. Kartar Singh Committee is also known as Committee on Multi-Purpose Workers under Health and Family Planning. The committee submitted its report in 1973. Kartar Singh Committee submitted its report in 1973. Kartar Singh Committee recommended the redesignation of ANM replaced by female health workers, BHW malaria surveillance workers vaccinator into FPHS and replaced by multipurpose health workers. Basic health workers, malaria surveillance workers, vaccinators, FPHAs replaced by multipurpose health workers. LHV designated as female health supervisor. So that is about Kartar Singh Committee. Kartar Singh Committee is known as Committee on Multipurpose Workers under Health and Family Planning. Next question. A characteristic of infant and young children who have experienced maternal deprivation. Maternal deprivation means loss of mother by death or something. So options are tendency toward overeating, responsiveness to stimuli, proneness to illness, extreme activity. Characteristics of infant and young children who have experienced maternal deprivation. So correct answer is proneness to illness. That is an important characteristic feature of maternal deprivation in children. Next question. Strawberry spot vagina is seen in. Strawberry spot vagina is seen in options Candida, Trichomonas, cytomegalovirus, herpes simplex. Strawberry spot vagina. Correct answer is Trichomonas infections. Strawberry spot vagina is seen in trichomoniasis. Strawberry vagina or angry looking vagina. So there are two terms, strawberry vagina or angry looking vagina is seen in trichomonas infections. Trichomonas infection is known as trichomoniasis. It is a common sexually transmitted infection or STD caused by a parasite. In women, trichomoniasis can cause a foul-smelling vaginal discharge, genital itching, and painful urinations. So these are the symptoms of trichomoniasis: foul-smelling vaginal discharge, genital itching, and painful urination. The first dose of vitamin A is given at options 18 months, 2 years, 9 months, 6 months. So correct answer is 9 months. Vitamin A first dose is usually given in 9 months along with MMR vaccine. For giving vitamin A, there are some criteria. So usually the incidence rate of night blindness around 1% is first criteria for giving vitamin A supplementation. So usually first dose is given during 6 to 11 months. So but we are usually given with MMR, that is in 9 months. So first dose is 1 lakh international unit frequency once. Then onwards up to 5 years will give 2 lakhs international unit in every 6 months. So that is about vitamin A supplementation. Earlier it is up to 3 years. Now it is changed to 5 years. So total dose first is 1 lakh unit, then every 6 months 2 lakhs international unit up to 5 years. Next question. Caput succedaneum is birthmark, swelling on the face of the body, collection of the fluid under scalp, swelling will not cross the suture line. Caput succedaneum. Don't confuse with the cephalhematoma. So correct answer is collection of fluid under scalp. Caput succedaneum means collection of fluid under scalp. Because of that, it will cross the suture line. Caput succedaneum crosses suture line, and cephalhematoma, that is collection between periosteum and bone, so it will not cross suture line. Caput succedaneum involves diffuse swelling of the scalp with the subcutaneous fluid collection unrelated to the periosteum with the poorly defined margins. So capid succedaneum crosses the what suture line. Caput succedaneum will cross suture line. Cephal hematoma will not cross suture line because it is the collection of blood between blood and bone and periosteum. That is why it is not crossing suture line. So next question, enzyme released by sperm which allow penetration of the ovum is. Enzyme released by sperm which allow penetration of the ovum is amylase, hyaluronidase, lipase, trypsin. Correct answer, hyaluronidase. Complete dissolution of the cells of the corona radiata, that is outermost covering of the ovum, occurs by chemical action of the hyaluronidase liberated from acrosomal cap of the hundreds of the sperm present at the site. Acrosomal cap means that head-like structure in the sperm. So after that, penetration of the zona pellucida also facilitated by the release of hyaluronidase from the acrosomal cap. Acrosomal cap, I already told, head-like structure in the sperm. So both the layers are penetrated by the help of hyaluronidase hormone. Next question, the mean cardiac output of the fetus is. The mean cardiac output of the fetus is, it is already we discussed in fetal circulation. So if you are remembering, you can answer it. 100 ml per kg minute, 225 milliliter per kilogram per minute, 350 milliliter per kilogram per minute, 450 milliliter per kilogram per minute. Correct answer, 350 milliliter per kilogram per minute. The mean cardiac output is comparatively high compared to the infant and is estimated to be 350 milliliter per kilogram per minute. The mean cardiac output is higher than the infant or newborn. That is 350 ml per kilogram per minute. Within 1 or 2 hours after birth, the cardiac output is estimated to about 500 ml per minute. So after birth, immediately after birth, it will be 500 ml per minute, but in the fetal stage, the cardiac output will be 350 milliliter per kg per minute. Next question, physiological anemia in pregnant woman is a result of poor dietary intake of iron, increased erythropoiesis, increased detoxification demands, increased blood volume of woman. Correct answer, increased blood volume of the woman. During pregnancy, the blood volume will increase and hemodilution occurs. Because of that, pregnant women have physiological anemia due to increased hemodilution. The blood volume starts to increase from about 6th week, expands rapidly thereafter to maximum 40 to 50% above non-pregnant level at 30 to 32nd weeks. Then it remains almost same till term. So 6th week onwards, the blood volume starts increase and it reaches maximum, that is around 40 to 50% of non-pregnant level at 30 to 32nd weeks, and it will remain constant till term. So this disproportionate increase in the plasma and RBC volume produce a state of hemodilution, that is falls in hematocrit during anemia. So next question, saffron colored meconium is seen in post maturity, tuberculosis, breech presentation, normal appearance. Saffron colored meconium. Correct answer, post maturity. Saffron colored or greenish yellow meconium is seen in post maturity. Abnormal colors of meconium we can check here. So I already told saffron or greenish yellow represents post maturity, and greenish meconium represents respiratory distress, and dark brown meconium represents intrauterine death of the fetus, and dark red, that means concealed accidental hemorrhage. So these are the abnormal color of meconium and its importance. Next question. Involution of uterus is completed by 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks. Correct answer, 6 weeks. Involution of uterus is completed by 6 weeks. Involution of uterus means the return of the uterus to the non-pregnant state. Return of the uterus from pregnant state to non-pregnant state, that is called involution of uterus. Involution of uterus is process by which the uterus is transformed from pregnant to non-pregnant state. This period is characterized by restoration of ovarian function in order to prepare the body for a new pregnancy. Usually it will take 6 weeks to complete. In some cases, that is usually in multipara, it will take 6 to 8 weeks may be required. Next question. Strongest stimulation of lactation is by? Strongest stimulation of lactation is by PPH, sucking, metoclopramide, bromocriptine. Correct answer is sucking. Sucking by baby is a strongest stimulation of lactation. Discharge of milk from the mammary gland depends not only on the suction excreted by the baby during suckling, but on the contractile mechanism which expresses the milk from the alveoli into the ducts helped by oxytocin. So discharge of the milk from the areola helped by oxytocin also, along with the reflex made by baby, suckling reflex made by baby. Next question. Injection of anti-D should be given following Rh positive delivery within 8 hours, 72 hours, 7 days, 24 hours. Correct answer, 72 hours. Anti-D gamma globulin administered intramuscularly to the mother following delivery. So generally 300 microgram dose will protect a woman from fetal hemorrhage up to 30 ml of fetal whole blood. So anti-D usually given within 72 hours of delivery, and it is administered through intramuscularly. The dose is 300 microgram. Next question. Danger of convulsion in a woman with preeclampsia ends in? The danger of convulsion in a woman with preeclampsia ends after labor begins, after delivery occurs, 24 hours postpartum, 48 hours postpartum. Correct answer, after 48 hours of postpartum. The danger of convulsion in a woman with preeclampsia ends in 48 hours of postpartum. Next question. The intervillous blood flow at a time. The intervillous blood flow at term 50 ml per minute, 100 to 150 ml per minute, 350 to 375 milliliter per minute, 500 to 600 milliliter per minute. Correct answer, 500 to 600 ml per minute. Intervillous blood flow at a term. A mature placenta has a volume of 500 ml of blood. A mature placenta has a volume of 500 ml of blood. In this, 350 ml being occupied in the villi system and 150 ml lying in the intervillous space. As the intervillous space blood flow at term is estimated to be 500 to 600 ml per minute, the blood in the intervillous space is completely replaced about 3 to 4 times per minute. So during the term, at the term, the intervillous blood flow rate is 500 to 600 ml per minute. So totally the blood is intervallar space blood is replaced around 3 to 4 times during a minute. Next question, which of the following nutrients inadequate intake in pregnancy will leads to neural tube defects in children? Niacin, riboflavin, folic acid, thiamine. Which of the following nutrients inadequate intake in pregnancy will leads to neural tube defects in children? Correct answer, folic acid. Folic acid helps to DNA synthesis and all, so that is why it is important in neural tube development of neural tube. So questions ends here. Thank you for watching this video and don't forget to subscribe our channel, Dinners. Thank you.